What's going on, Lou? I'm good, man.
Good, good. What's been happening, mate? I was wondering, we'd go straight in there talking about Philadelphia. What an outstanding show, mate. I've never seen nothing like it in my life.
Yeah, man. I think it was one of the best events I've ever been to in my life. Certainly one of the best combat sports events. It was just it moved us up the notch, so many levels on that show. It put us into a great spot. Very, very happy in my hometown. So it was an awesome, awesome event. Very, very happy about the result of that.
Yeah, like when we were stood back looking when we arrived, like we didn't realize how big an event it was. Like even at the top, there was that many people in there, you couldn't see the seats at the top, could you? It was
Nah, it
mental.
was crazy, man. I looked around the arena so many times, and I just said, "Man, there's not an empty seat in this whole entire place." It was crazy, man. It was amazing, and to top it off, it was just the electricity, and the fights were probably one of the best fight cards we've had in history.
Yeah, there was some great characters as well that came into the BKFC local from Philly, like Patrick Sullivan and Garbarino. They were great characters, them too.
Yeah, man, they're definitely buildable. We're looking at guys that we can build for the future. Pat Sullivan got knocked out. We actually talked. I said to him, I said, "Listen, my man," I said, "the worst thing in the world that could possibly happen to you happened to you. So you got nowhere to go but up. So let's do it." And he's so motivated now to make a comeback. Garbarino, man, I mean, the cannoli incident, the proposal, a very good fight in there. So, he definitely has star writings all over him. So I think he's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it was a real shock of that when he done that with the Coloni. Like everyone thought he was going to do like the when the fighters cheese with each other, then he just smacked it out of his hand. Everyone was shocked, weren't they?
Yeah, man, that was crazy.
The American fans as well, like the dead patriotic and passionate. Like it was different. I didn't expect it to be like that. Like at the press conference, to get stuck right in with questions and that, don't they?
Yeah, man, Philadelphia is different. Philadelphia loves Philadelphia. They hate Philadelphia. Like if the Philadelphia Eagles are winning, they love them. If they're losing, they hate them. And they loved Eddie Alvarez. He's a hometown guy, and they came out to support him. They came out to support all the undercard guys, and they're different though. But I mean, they're going to cheer for you, and they're going to tell you if they don't like you.
Yeah, and you've got to take your hat off to Jeremy Stevens, really, because he did get some stick and he wasn't fazed by it one bit, was he?
No, not at all, man. And look, he came out, he put on a spectacular performance, lined himself up for some big fights down the road. But, he played the villain very, very well, and it worked for him.
Yeah, I seen at the end as well, Conor McGregor was interested in having a fight with Jeremy. Do you think we'll ever see Conor McGregor in the BKFC ring?
I mean, I don't know, man. We got to see what happens with the UFC first and just make sure, Conor's getting himself to where he needs to be. And who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I mean, the one thing you can never do to Conor McGregor is doubt him.
Yeah, and I think if Conor McGregor did fight, I said this the other day on Instagram, if he did fight in bare knuckle, I think it'd be a pay-per-view record.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, everybody wants to see him fight MMA. They want to see him fight boxing. But everybody, it's just intriguing to see if he took the gloves off and what he would do with bare knuckle.
Who all round impressed you at Knucklemania?
I mean, really, honestly, Ben Rothwell obviously looked good with that one-punch knockout of Mick Terrell. Jeremy Stevens looked great. Beck Rawlings looked different. She just looked like, she was smoother. She was more relaxed out there. She looked great. John Garbarino looked good. A lot of the guys on the show really, really, truly did look good. First fight was Itzo, and the guy he fought, that was a great fight. Brandon Myers with a come from behind one punch knockout. Yeah. I mean, just so many great, great moments from that night, man. And there's so much talent that we can build off of. We're going to do a smaller, more elite VIP show here on March 21st in Philadelphia. We're going to invite some of the guys back, and we're just going to keep building them until we can, do 2 or 3 events a year like that here in Philadelphia, because Philadelphia loves BKFC now, and we're just going to keep coming back.
Yeah, definitely. And is the Wells Fargo going to be like the place that you're going to be using, or with that not having a seat left, are you going to go on to like even bigger stadium?
Nah, we'll stay there. I mean, that's really the biggest arena in the Philadelphia area. It was I've tried 5 years in a row to get there, and they wouldn't let me there. And then, after the fight, they said you're part of the Wells Fargo Center. You come back here anytime you want. So we'd love to make that our home here in Philadelphia.
Awesome. And going back to the Mick Terrell and Ben Rothwell fight, with it happening so quick, I know there's been a lot of talk online about a rematch and things like that with how quick the fight happened and the controversy with people saying about the IPO. Is that something that had happened?
Yeah, I mean, I be honest with you, I don't think it warrants an immediate rematch, but I think, look, Mick's been around for a long time, fought whoever asked him to fight, always stepped up. So do I think he should get a rematch? Yeah. Do I think it needs to be an immediate rematch? No, not necessarily. Doesn't mean it won't happen immediately, but we'll see what happens. But I mean, at the end of the day, as Mick is part of BKFC, and he always, like I said, he always came to fight. It's not like he went out there and got his ass kicked. He got cracked. He got caught with a
Yeah.
great punch. He got knocked out. So that's different than getting your ass kicked for 5 rounds and then you don't deserve a rematch. He does deserve a rematch, and we'll just see when that's going to be.
Wicked. And what a performance by Panda Banks, by the way.
Yeah, man. He definitely he bounced back, man. I thought he was in that first round with Joey Dueco. I thought there was no way he was going to withstand all that punishment, and he did, man. So yeah, man. Panda Backs look good too.
And this Saturday, we've got a show in Newcastle. There's a cruiserweight title on the line between Carl Thompson and Rob Boardman. I don't know if you've had a look deeply into the card and that, but what's your thoughts on this show coming up?
I mean, again, a lot of good up and coming talent on that card. Definitely, like we're starting to make a couple cards over here, and I'm looking at the English fighters more and more now to bring them over to the United States because they are building up some good records over there. They're getting experience over there, and they need to be in the mix of the whole entire worldwide scene. But that main event, man, Thompson and Boardman, that's a hell of a fight, man, and I don't even know who to pick on that. I'll just tell you, there's a 50-50 shot. I'll know in about 3 hours if I'm gonna come over there. So I'm trying to make my way over there if I can figure that out in a couple hours.
Oh, that'd be great, mate, to see you over here.
Yeah, man.
And what's the plans with the UK this year? Because we have great cards. The cards are awesome. The matchups are awesome, but we seem to be a little bit behind with all the other stuff that's happening, like in Marbella and things.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're gonna add some people to the team over there. We're gonna enhance things a little bit. We'll definitely do one huge show there in 2025. We have some bigger names coming over, some boxing names from some UFC names. So we're definitely going to do something big. We're about to make a pretty good heavyweight signing over there that I'm really happy about. But there's so many guys that want to fight for us now over there. I think 2025 is going to be a good breakout year. We're going to do some different things over there. Like I said, we're bringing some people into the team that's going to help enhance the actual experience at every one of the shows. So I think that's going to be great.
Awesome. And have you got any plans for our champs, Conor Tini and Aggie Falconer?
Yeah, we were just talking about them today. We'll definitely have something in the next couple, probably in the next 7 days for that. But we were just talking about that, like literally like 10, 15 minutes ago. So absolutely, because we actually thought that Conor might have wanted to come down and wait. We had a really intriguing fight for him, but that's not going to happen. But we're going to get this done, and we're going to get those guys moving. And like I said, I want to get these English fighters into the whole mix of things now because I think we separated them enough now, and now it's time to really integrate them with the whole BKFC.
Yeah, and we've got another great fighter over here in the 155-pound division in Ben Bonner. I don't know if you've seen his knockout that he did at the last Newcastle show, but what's your thoughts on Ben Bonner?
I mean, look, explosive puncher, and we're going to see about if he can do that again. I mean, and that's the key. Like, I'm not saying anybody can score a knockout. That was a sensational knockout, but if he can keep doing that, he can make himself a superstar in BKFC.
Yeah, of course, mate. And I know that there's a lot of fighters in the UK from the West Midlands area. Like, I think there's about 8 bare knuckle fighters in Connor's gym alone. Is BKFC Birmingham something we could possibly see this year?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man. 100%. Like I said, we got a lot of different things in the works. We did the deal with the zone. We have some other deals coming up that's going to open this whole thing up for us. And when it does, it's going to allow us to really press the gas pedal down and just really go full steam ahead in UK. I think that we've scratched the surface enough to be able to put on some big shows there now. And that's really the plan, to get these guys busier and busier, go to different places in the UK, not just stay in one place, but go to different places all up and down, north and south, and maybe even go a little bit west to to Ireland. We're just working on that right now, and I just think there's so much room in Scotland, in Ireland, all over England, for Wales, everywhere for BKFC. It's a worldwide sport. It's a global sport, and I think it's something that we're going to spread out great in 2025.
That's great news, mate. And BKFC Dubai, the 2-day event that's going on over there, is this something that's going to be involving the $25 million tournament?
I mean, we're possibly those events are not, but we may do a tryout around that. We're working on that now. I think the timing is going to line up for that, so that's going to be great. But those events are actually standalone events, which we're going to do something a little different. We're going to have big concerts right afterwards, something like that we did in Spain, but bigger worldwide names that are really going to put on a hell of a show in 17,000 seat arena over there in Dubai. So that could be our biggest weekend ever. I think we're going to get 35,000 people in that arena over the weekend.
That's awesome, mate. And could you give us a bit more information on this $25 million tournament and how
next
it's
week,
going to work?
Honestly, Lou, next week. The only thing I can tell you is it's going to happen. It's going to be 10 months long. It's going to happen in 10 different shows, and the winner is going to get 15 million, and then the rest is going to sprinkle out. We don't have much more details that we can show now as we're structuring this whole thing, but that's pretty much the 20,000-foot view of how it's going to roll out.
Yeah, no worries, mate. And BKFC Spain, have we got an event coming up soon there?
We're working on it now. We had one scheduled for March, but the partner we were going to use kind of fell out. But it looks like towards the end of April, beginning of May, I definitely want to get Tenaglia back in there, and then I want to do a real big fight with him in the beginning of in the fall area in Madrid. He deserves it. Possibly a rematch with Tony Soto by then, but I'm going to get him one fight first. So definitely be back in Spain. A lot of countries over there that are really opening up right now. I just need to make a bigger and bigger team because we've had so much stuff going on with the growth of BKFC and the growth of bare knuckle all over the world. So it's just getting crazy, and we got to add new guys to the team so we can keep up with the momentum.
Yes, and obviously BKFC Italy is involved in that mix. Have you got any fights that you can sort of announce or any names that are going to be on there?
It's going to drop in about a week. I'll just tell you there's some intriguing matchups some rematches that we had for some big fights going on. A lot of guys are going to be on that card, man, that you're very familiar with. A couple new guys as well. But I think the main event's going to get people very, very excited, and the co-main event as well. But that can't drop until next week. We're going to drop that out, and then we're going to do the press conference in Italy and announce everything next week.
That's great, mate. And lastly, have you got a message that you could say to the UK lads?
Just look, man, keep fighting your ass off. Keep doing what you're doing. You're not going unwatched. We are looking at you. We just had to finish a little growth spurt that we have. We're going to put a lot more effort and a lot more really finances and everything into UK to really blow this thing up. I think that the fans really love it. I think that it's cracking into mainstream now, and 2025 is going to be a great year for the UK.